Welcome back, my gardening friends. Well, we're always busy down on the allotments when we get chance. It's Saturday the 23rd of August 2025. Let's get the year right at least. And these are the Marvel of Venice. I picked a few. I had a few seeds sent me. So I made sure that I'd got plenty to put into my stocks. There's more than enough there. We only need, I think there's 4 plants there. And that one pod, 1, 2, 3, 4. One pod would actually do all that. So we've got plenty now. And they do store well if you're dried out properly. Just apologies for some of the filming. I disappeared off to plot 1 when I was filming on plot 3 and the microphone disconnected. So at the end of the cucumber video, you just got a bit of silence where I was yakking away. Probably a bit of peace and quiet for you. And also Mrs. K, at this time of filming, we had to spend the night in A&E. So I wasn't able to keep up with all the comments. But we'll get there, I know you understand. But that's the Marvel of Venice label. Straw bale gardening, will I do it again? Maybe in the future. It does need a little bit of more help than I've given it. But cracking experience. We move on to the other straw bale gardening bed, the Shirley tomatoes. Have done really well. I've had a little bit of blossom end rot on the... Well, that's a different tomato, surely. But they're coming out really well. We've just got a little mark on that one where it's been leaning, but all the rest are blossom end rot free. Just noticed this weed. I have really struggled to keep on top of things this year. But think of those poor farmers that have not got the crops they wanted. This is a hobby, and what I get, I really appreciate. Not the best, but does it matter? But we've done okay. For some reason, these long beans have just grew and grew and not given me much, mainly because I filled this bed with just manure. Potatoes have gone over now. I planted onions in each of the pots, just because I've seen somebody else do it. Would I do it again? Yes, if I've got surplus, because it's better to have that than nothing at all. This is where now, this is the pink fir apple. This is when I now hold the soil, pull the haulms out. Any potatoes that come up, I'll push back into the compost. I'm not sure whether I've got blight in the polytunnel. We'll find out when I do the video on plot 3. This is plot 1. This now will be topped up with compost. I'm going to try and remember to do that. And then once it gets cooler, I'm going to be storing those in the polytunnel. And there's a few potatoes that need that now. They've died off. It's pointless doing anything else. Again, there's another pink fir apple in a bigger pot. There's no blight on the potatoes. If you have got blight, remember, some people say save them, some people say don't. I would automatically take them home, but it would be my last job of the day. And whatever's affected with blight, I only do those. I don't go touching the tomatoes or potatoes that aren't affected. That's why I try and grow my tomatoes, potatoes, all over my growing spaces. so that if we do get any disease, same as the onions this time. Onions have been planted all over the place, and I've had my best onion crops, so I'm trying to mix and match some of the beds. I'm going to be planting my shallots soon, but they'll have the bed to their own. But I will plant some in other areas if the beds are ready. But I've still got 2 or 3 weeks left yet before we're finished at home, and then I can start concentrating on the jobs on the allotments for the winter months. Over the winter, I'm going to cut a few more of those out because there's just not enough light getting to these new galvanised beds under the cover. This used to be a shed. I've turned it into a growing space. I can go under there when it's raining, guys. But obviously it's got to be kept hydrated, which I haven't been able to do. And these beds were actually full. Now look how much they've sunk. So a little bit of work there. There's the spring onions. They ain't done too bad. As in a previous video, the birds have pulled those out. But nice little snack in my lunchbox. Nothing goes to waste. Anything that's surplus will go in the compost bin. Now, there's a few bits I can harvest from here, but it does tend to go bitter. But I can prove that I've grown something, and if I have to put a blue barrel in here with irrigation, etc., I will do. But considering it's its first year, and some of these beds are only topped up recently, I think they've done all right. Because this was a place to keep some of my things dry, creating the shelves over the leaf mould bins has really helped. I picked up a bit more cardboard. The comfrey, I've only taken 2 off this one. It's looking quite lush, but you can't keep taking. You sometimes have to leave it and let the bees enjoy it, which they are doing today. Top middle. The tomatoes in the greenhouse on plot 1 are looking okay. I don't think Mrs. K's shop bought her in here, but I have enjoyed the taste of paradise cherry tomatoes. They've done quite well. Robin said I would like those, and I definitely did. A little bit of blossom end rot in here. Small potatoes there, all nicely stacked up. Stay there. I just try and keep them a little bit damp so that the potatoes don't shrivel up. Most of the giant carrots here have gone to seed, whether it's because they're under that Andermatt netting, plastic-free netting. This is over 2 years old now, and it still hasn't rotted. But I'll be leaving some of those to go to seed so I can save and share. Last year's beetroot, we didn't go to Malvern because of Mrs. K's health. This won't be long now, a few more weeks, and all those seeds will be ready, so I can share those with the giant vegetable community. Got 1 or 2 carrots that are still doing okay. Giant beetroot from that's Lee. He does grow really nice stuff. There's some of the giant potatoes. Some have died off. There's my attempt at the single seed potato challenge 2024. It's still growing, so hopefully I'll get something off it to grow again. But I've just not had a chance to get in there and fertile out the smaller potatoes. So we will see what we get towards the show date. Now you can see there, I think that one's got sheep's wool, or is it straw? This performer has got sheep's wool. So sheep's wool here looks like it's retained the moisture better than the performer. Those potatoes still look really good. These are the 2 1-ton bags, the builder's bags, that I put all my found unscrupulously dumped compost in. And the volunteer tomato is doing better than some of the ones that I've looked after. We've got parsnips in here, and we've already harvested some of the onions, etc. Again, this was a mixture bed. These were some of the long parsnips and long carrots that I didn't use in my guttering for the show. I might have to dig those out if the other ones don't do so well. And there's some spring onions. I'm letting them mature, see how big they actually do get. I've just tidied them up by removing some of the leaves from around the bottom. I'm going to have to cover this bed. Still haven't topped it up like I promised. Birds are still digging it up and lifting all the bulbs out. Nick from Nick's Allotment, EESII, gave me some more snowdrops, so I need to put those in and then top it all up and replace some of the bulbs that have been scattered out. The blackbirds are desperate at the moment to find enough food while it's been so dry, so they're digging deeper. Don't think the giant cabbage is going to make Malvern, but I'm sure there'll be plenty of cabbage in there to eat, as long as I make sure we don't steam any caterpillars. Mrs. K was not amused previously. So this is the comfrey concentrate that we've got. Just, what, 10, 13, 14 litres this year. So all those comfrey leaves go in this bin and they just rot down naturally with the juices flowing into the container. It's been not the best year, so I'm not going to harvest all the comfrey, like previously said, and end up with the comfrey suffering. Everything's suffering enough as it is. This new bed, the raspberries all come all the way down to here. We've got the new raspberries there, which haven't done so well this year, so I'm glad I didn't rip them all out. And as I've said previously, I'm not taking these out next year either until those over there grow properly. But in the new bed, I decided to plant some carrots. Massive issues with germination of carrots and parsnips this year. Don't know why, but after several sowings, we've got these to grow, but I haven't got the carrots like I normally have. I should have done some in containers, but I've bought some nice new carrot seed, the little Chardonnay one, some other sorts, so hopefully next year I'll be better prepared. But I've said previously, I'm happy with what I've got, and I'm happy that I've still got Mrs. K at my side. But there's some nice carrots in here, and actual fact, oh, that's a nice one. These are the Cascade F1. So I think I might take some of those. Because they're all just sown, I haven't thinned them out. But you've got to be careful. What I normally do is harvest the carrots, run off quickly, take the tops off and throw them on the floor. And if a carrot flies about, you should look at that, but looking at the carrot, no carrot root fly. I've had major issues last year with carrot root fly, so we decided not to plant them in the same bed like I used to. So again, planting carrots in containers all over the allotment. Hopefully you get some decent crops, but that's a nice carrot. It's certainly nice to have these raspberries. There's a few gone over. Excuse me. They don't go wasted. But because we spent a bit of time in hospital, some of these have gone over. I try and use and recycle anything that we do buy over the winter months when we haven't got the fresh stuff. But raspberries, you don't really want to stack them more than 2 deep, or else they'll bruise. And then the holes in the bottom, which give ventilation, the juice drops out in the fridge. I'll get into trouble, guys. had some lovely comments recently. Ali from the Rusty Garden said she'd got, when we did the what microphone I'm using, she said she uses a magnet. Also, I put the microphone underneath, just check that it's still connected, and then put that bit through, and it seems to hold in well, Ali. So that saves having that rope around my neck, especially during the summer months. But I do love the comments. I'm no gardener as such, even though I come from a farming background. We're learning all the while. And comments are where we get all the information, ideas. And it just keeps our mojo going, because the old mojo does disappear. I don't care what anybody says. Sometimes you'll just look at your garden and think, oh my goodness. But again, I'll say, what about those poor farmers that are looking at their massive fields and seeing the crop that realistically all they're going to do is plough it in? If you've liked the content, give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. I hope you've enjoyed this little video on a tour of plot 1. I'll be doing plot 3 shortly, but I don't want the video to go on for too long. Please leave me a comment on any subject you like. I'll answer the questions the best I can. If I don't know the answer, I'll pin your comment. And why not consider subscribing? It's free. And if you can't sleep, then put my videos on before you go to bed. Guarantee a good night's sleep. Happy gardening to you all. Till next time, my friends. Ta for now.